Good evening, brothers and sisters. Welcome to this session. I'm very blessed to be here to present my my assessment 3 about the translations. But first, please let's commit this session to the Lord. Please bow your heads and close your eyes. Thank you. Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for tonight, Lord. Thank you for allowing us to share your word, Lord, and, Lord, fellowship, Lord, and your love above everything, Lord. You're an amazing Lord, and we glorify your name, Lord, and we praise you, Lord. Lord, help us, Lord, each of us, Lord, to understand, Lord, this topic, Lord, and to apply it, Lord, when the time to apply it will come, Lord. In Jesus' mighty name, Lord, we commit this time to you, Lord, for the glory and honor of your name, in Jesus Christ's name, amen. Well, my assessment, it's about how to apply and communicate theological information. This topic, it's about analyzing and applying various translations of the Bible to communicate the Bible to different group of people. And I felt very, how do you say, I felt very, sorry, it touched me in many ways because it's about translations, and all of you know that English is not my first language. I'm still learning English, so everything that it involves this presentation have talked to myself. Then the first group, the first translation that I want to speak about is about my personal reading. In regards of my personal reading, the best Bible version suited for me is the New King James. Why? Because I read the Bible before in Spanish, and it's one which is literal equivalence version, translation. So the closer version in English to that one, which is literal, is the New King James. I tried the Old King James, where it's very hard for me to understand. But with the New King James, it's easier, makes it easier. Although it's for many people hard to understand, it's what I prefer. But I think it's important to have a little bit of knowledge. It's not the Bible that you start with, I think. If you never have read the Bible before, I think New King James is very hard to understand. It's beautiful structure, literal structure. It's very poetic, very, how do you say, it's very formal. I like that style, but not everybody is, ready to read that as a first Bible. And then that's my first choice. But when it becomes very hard to understand, then I use an NIV, which is the dynamic equivalence translation. So that helps me to have a bigger picture on the scriptures. That's the way that I use. Sometimes I use New Living Translation, which makes it easier. I think it speaks in a very simple way to understand. Then the other group of people that I like to, that's my personal reading. The other group of people that I like to present today is the millennials. To be honest, I didn't know much about millennials, so I had to do a little bit of research. And what I found out is that I found out that this younger generation wants experience and loves to go deeper They like going deeper in everything. So because they have the information in their pockets all the time. This is a generation that it's the generation which includes generation Y and Z. Those are called millennials, and they're young adults and part of youth. Millennials know all that information in the world is right in their pockets, as I said. Many millennials did not grow up in church, so we have to give them very good reasons why they should spend time reading the Bible or why they should spend time going to church. They need to be convinced in certain ways. So once they go to church, they have to be encouraged to keep reading and knowing the scripture. So I chose for them the best suited version for them. I would say that it's the ESV, NIV, and the Good News Bible. Why? Because I think it's more effectively with this generation, and because it can help them to understand it in a simple way, but also to go in a certain way deep, and to be close to the original translation and context. Then the next group, which I'm going to present today, it's the group of people that I feel very that I belong to. It's people whose first language is not English. So I understand very well all these people. So what I feel very empathetic with them. The only difference to consider, as I said before, is to know if they have the prior knowledge to the scriptures or not. If that's not the case, I will always will go with start with the free translation. It's very understandable, easy to understand, simple words, and then I will go to probably dynamic versions, functional versions, translations, which can be NIV, New Living Translations, the one that I use when New King James is hard to understand for me. I think those versions help to have a clear picture of what the scriptures mean. In depth. Then I would like to present also, from my own point of view, in-depth study for sermon preparation. I would say that the formal equivalence shall be the key, the starting point. I think it's very important to know the original context. Obviously, we don't speak Hebrew or Greek, but I think going to formal equivalence is what we aim. And but again, to have a bigger picture of the scriptures, we can go to the dynamic as well. I would say that NIV or NRSV, which is the New Revised Standard Version. Sorry, I just had a cloudy one. I think that the best suited versions to prepare a sermon can be those. Let's say that never to use a free translation to start with, probably just to help, but not to start with. And it is very important to understand the scriptures in the original context that it was written, and also to be able to transfer that idea, what it means nowadays in specific areas, which the formal translation is a little bit limited, like, for example, historical distance, such as weight, money, measurements, use of vocabulary, grammar, or even inclusiveness of women in the Bible, which in the formal translation are limited. So then we can use the functional equivalence translations and the free translations to help, but never never to use it as a main resource. That's all that I can say for today. Do you have any questions? Thank you for listening.